morning. So we're going to do it together.
Oh,
Let's do it
yeah.
again.
Good
morning.
Yeah.
Welcome, people.
Well, we'd like you to welcome us into your homes, into your living rooms, into your bedrooms. If you're still lying and still turning and tossing on the bed, well, it's okay.
Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria is what we're trying to say. And of course, we're so happy every single day when you guys turn on that TV and we're the first smiling faces that you guys get to see.
Aww.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much. We do not take that for granted at all. And yes, of course, we have Winfrey, who's in the kitchen.
Yay.
Hello, Winfrey.
Hi, guys. Good morning. How are you guys doing this morning?
How are you doing?
I'm good. Not bad at all.
I love that black little jacket you have on. Maybe we should switch because I know your pants are pink like mine.
You know, actually, when I saw you working this morning, I was really admiring the pink jacket. It's very nice. It's very not you.
Oh, stop. In any case, this is going to be a grand Thursday for you guys as we're preparing for the weekend and hoping that you guys will be with us all through. Of course, we have very interesting conversations dialed in for you. We've worked very hard to make a Thursday artsy edition just for you as you wake up this morning.
Yes, so what are your expectations on the show this morning? Expect us to always deliver. And of course, we have quite an array of, we have our art displays, we have book chats, and we have some really, really interesting conversations. And of course, great food coming up on the show. But hey, would like to let you guys know my name is Ime Akoche.
And my name is Mazino Appeal. You guys are seeing us live, perhaps on channel 16 if you're on GoTV. It's 121 for Star Times, and of course 49 for the UHF option. We also please ask that you guys follow us across all the social media platforms
at TVC Entertainment _ guys. It's changed. It's no longer TVC Connect. TVC Entertainment _ And remember that you can also download the app on our iOS and Android store. And of course, the start of the show, we have
Eunice Akintayo coming up today for a very interesting art display conversation. If you guys stick with us, you get to see her beautiful pieces that she has put together all with her own hands. Well, we're looking forward to that conversation with her.
and for a musical performance.
Welcome, Thursday edition here, and blessed am I amongst women. Like I always say when it's a Thursday and I have these beautiful ladies all around myself. Winfrey, welcome. I like the hair lately. Have you noticed Winfrey's hairdo lately?
Yeah, so saw the telephone
This
wires
is the heat in Lagos
yesterday.
Oh, tell me about the heat in Lagos.
So yesterday, I felt like we were truly experiencing climate change because it was scorching. And then it was very windy. And very windy. Well, at my part of the house, I felt like, okay, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Can you bring some wind tomorrow?
No, it wasn't. It was really strange because it wasn't. The weather did not change. Like I said, the sun was still scorching hot, and it was windy, and it was the sort of wind that like blows things around.
It's very weird weather because you think that at this time of the year would still be.
It rained yesterday.
It
rained,
and it's still hot.
Yeah.
I don't know who's managing the weather up there, Mother Nature. What's going on here? But it's not something that we're used to at all. I thought that January would be a great month to actually hit the road on a bike, but I'm beginning to change my mind because of the way everything's changing. I don't know what to do.
I think it takes my mind to. I mean, my husband is making me watch this series called Gundam, so it's anime, right?
Okay.
And it talks about how people are literally migrating from Earth to another planet, because of climate change. And it's actually making me see the realities because he's of the total belief that animes literally predict the future and things like that, which is actually true to an extent and all of that. Talking about floppy disks and screen like platforms and stuff like that. So yeah, he's actually saying, okay, fine, this might actually be the thing, the future, and stuff like that. And the climates, so you guys should do stuff to stop climate
come on.
change.
I take baths like 6 times a day, and I'm not joking.
That doesn't
6
help.
times?
Well, just to cool me down. I can't help it. If we had a bathroom here, you guys would maybe. No, never mind.
Anyway, so I mean, all over the world, like a lot of countries are currently experiencing climate change, and there's a lot of initiatives, hampering on climate change, and also the need for us to protect our environment.
I'll tell you something, however, here in Nigeria, what doesn't help the situation is the economy because it's hot,
Yes.
There's no power.
Yes.
I had to, yesterday, my daughter actually went around the back of the house and came to me and said, Daddy, there's no fuel. I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go again. So I had to do the fuel run. And then there's so many people who are trying to buy fuel because all across Festac is in darkness.
Yeah.
So imagine the heat,
Laws.
no power.
The flies.
Flies? What is this, the plagues? The 10
Flies.
plagues?
No, seriously. The flies have been crazy recently because I think the heat comes with the flies. Just
Wow.
You mean
notice it.
mosquitoes or
Flies.
flies?
I'm talking about flies. Those
big
big
flies.
ones. Big flies.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, you know what?
Alright.
Before it gets to the rain that comes down and drops us fire, let's move on. Let's do the weather now. Hopefully, we won't be experiencing that kind of weather. But of course, let's find out what it's going to be like through today. And you're welcome. My name is Benzino Appeal. Let's do the news for a Thursday. Now, we're going to start from Abuja, where about 2.5 tons worth 9.9 billion naira of confiscated ivories and elephant tusk specimens have been destroyed in the nation's capital. This is a major boost in efforts to tackle illegal ivory trade in Africa's major transit hub and to help conserve its few hundreds remaining elephant population. TVC News' Kemi Balogun has details.
Thousands of elephants are killed every year for their tusk, despite a ban on the international trade in ivory since 1989 by the UN Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The illegal ivory trade poses a severe threat to elephant populations across the African continent, causing a steep decline in numbers of these animals. An estimated 415,000 elephants remain in Africa, compared to over 1.3 million elephants found on the continent in 1979, with just about 400 accounted for in Nigeria today. In a significant step to curb the illegal ivory trade and protect what is left of its elephant population, this first ever public disposal of accumulated confiscated ivory and elephant tusk by the Nigerian government is not only to destroy these items, but to also declare the country's strong stance against wildlife trafficking.
Wild animal parts and derivatives persist, with a surge in black market for sale of illegally acquired wildlife parts. Research has also revealed that there are 4 poaching hubs, which are Democratic Republic of Congo, Cameroon, Burkina Faso, and Nigeria.
To reduce the impact of climate change, human health, and the environment, the country has domesticated most of these agreements through enactment and promulgation of environmental laws and regulations.
Seizures of ivory and the prosecution and conviction of offenders have been recorded recently, but existing wildlife local laws remain outdated.
In Africa, elephants are a symbol of majesty and greatness, but they are slaughtered for their ivory, which is then illegally traded across the world. This destruction is also, however, a call for further action and awareness.
This destruction comes just 3 months after the country publicly destroyed about 4 tons of seized pangolin scales. The destruction of confiscated elephant tusk and ivory will not only put an end to illegal trafficking, but it will also ensure that no one profits from it. Kemi Balogun, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, outside of Nigeria, President of Ecuador, Daniel Noboa, has declared an internal armed conflict in the country. He also ordered security forces to neutralize several criminal groups accused of spreading extreme violence. The decree comes shortly after armed men interrupted a live television broadcast as the assailants forced staff of the state-owned network onto the floor on the studio with shots and yelling hard in the background. The police have now confirmed the arrest of all the armed men involved in the attack, and members of the media outlet have been evacuated. At least 4 firearms, 2 grenades and explosive materials were recovered and 13 people apprehended. Ecuador has been hit by explosions, police kidnappings, and prison disturbances since the declaration of a nationwide state of emergency after a high-profile gang leader escaped from a prison in Guayaquil. Hey guys, welcome. Time for What's Up and About, ladies.
Yes, it is.
MM had a very, very interesting story she wanted to talk about. It's sad, but...
Yeah, it's not exactly interesting. It's a really sad one. I saw it on my way to the office this morning, and it's so there's a report of a young lady who recently committed suicide, and then she had this note. She's actually a staff of a bank, and she put out this note, and which I would like to just quickly read on. So she said she's in the note, she wrote, nothing is working in my life. My figures are low. I guess she has targets.
Yeah,
she's not been able to, meet up with them. Her brain is clogged up, probably going through some family pressure, work pressure, and the economy is getting harder. My decisions are wrong. My mind is messed up. The future doesn't seem bright at all. I see extreme hardship. I can't bear the pain anymore. I'm sure. Then she apologizes to her family, and then she ends the note with, "Dear Lord, have mercy on me." And
that's very sad.
yeah, it's a really, 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 really sad one. And yeah, so it just brings a lot of things it brought a lot of things to my consciousness this morning. One, how the economy is
really hard
on a lot of people. Not everybody. A lot of people are really having it easy, but there are a lot of people that are really going through some serious hardships, right? And also being able to meet up with targets at work, the pressure that she could have been going through, and how she may not have been able to talk to anyone about it, or I know there were a lot of comments though. People saying all sorts. People saying that she should have talked to someone, and it just sort of questions our sense of humanity in all of this, and how we need to look out for one another more.
I know, Winfrey, did it hit you as hard as it hit me? This story?
What exactly is hitting who?
As in the part where she talked about, first of all, there's a lot of unpacking to do here. She talked about meeting her targets. That's the pressure from work. I'm going to talk about pressure. Then she talked about not seeing a bright future. That to me
is a mindset.
It's a mindset. And I say when it comes to mindset, there are very many pressures that people face when it comes to that. There's societal pressure, there's peer pressure, there's religion.
Yeah, we talked about that this morning.
Yes, exactly.
And then there's also pressure from the culture.
Culture, all of that, yeah, pressure. So
yeah,
it's never a good idea to say you want to take your life because it is the only option that seems available. There are so many options that we are not presented with because of all of these other distractions that we have, whether it's religion, whether it's society, whether it's professional. And that's the problem, that we have limited ourselves to thinking in this very straitjacketed way, especially religion. I say religion because it has a big influence on our lives.
Yeah.
Religion people go to church, you give prayers, you say, God, please help me. And then that's where it ends. They don't act on that. They don't act on that by saying, okay, let me go get help. Let me go to the hospital, for instance. They just believe that if you go to a psychiatric hospital, it means that you're not okay.
Yeah.
And that's a wrong way of thinking. If only you didn't have these kinds of straitjacketed thinking that's presented to you by religion, I think that you can solve a lot, And then there's work, and then the economy. Everybody who made it into 2024, congratulations. You have just made life, because it has been tough, especially here in Nigeria. It's a world over thing, by the way. But it's just unfortunate that this lady chose this route. I understand what she's going through. I just wish that she had spoken to somebody before doing that, and that's the problem. We don't have these avenues to speak to people and get empathy, and I mean real, genuine empathy.
Yeah, so over the weekend, I was at a group meeting where it's more like a community where people were reflecting, on the year, and also think intentions for the year, for 2024, and to hinge on that, I just really need to say that there are a lot of there are people coming up with different communities, sort of creating a safe haven where people can be vulnerable, where people can share, where people can talk.
Absolutely necessary.
And I was saying it this morning also that there's also that knowledge gap still hinging on religion that you mentioned. I know that religion has a way of sort of, enslaving our minds. there's, we need to sort of experience that shift. And if you don't have because you can't say the access to information is not available, because these days everybody is on social media. So it also depends on the kind of
The only thing they put on social media is what they want you to see.
No, but there are also a lot of educative, informative materials on social media. Exactly. So if there are people that I have met in this journey who are very intentional with the sort of materials or with sort of content that they're either following or they go after when they are in that place where their minds, where they feel that they can't, do it anymore, where they feel depressive, and then they go and then they learn, and then it just sort of, gives their mind a different, way of thinking.
Yeah.
Right. And helping, most importantly, also helps with that situation. So I think that there are different ways to, look at this. There are different angles to look at this.
Really between a rock and a hard. But Winfrey, what do you do when you're between a rock and a hard place? What's your one very simple, small kind of like sleep? Sleep works for you, yeah, and that's great.
So basically, this is what I have to say about this, right? So as much as, yes, we're saying, a lot of people are saying religion, is the fact is that religion was created by a group of people, right? And then people decide on what they choose to follow and what they choose to believe. Now, your belief may come based on family or may come based on the people around you at a particular time, and then you decide to key into that belief, but something will not change. Whatever you believe is your sole responsibility. The same way they say, yeah, don't let where you're coming from dictate where you're going to, right? The same way, as you come to a point, you come of age to have certain thoughts for yourself. Whether you're in a religion that you found yourself in or you found whatever deity you decide to go by, you should always stop to think. As much as we say religion, I know when we say religion, it seems more of the probably the fold of Christianity, Islam, and other Hindu and other things. Religion is actually a whole lot of things. But now we need to understand that for the longest time, religion has also been handled in a way that tradition also covers it. So growing up, this is the way we do things based on the fact that we believe we are from this part of life, right? And we keep on doing that. Now, we need to understand that when you get to a point in your life, you need to stop and think of what you really believe
Live your life for you.
and know what influences the decisions you actually take. And now, I'll talk about the whole idea of, okay, fine, people saying she should have spoken to someone, she could have done this, she could have done that. She said something, she didn't see a brightness of the future, something in that light. There is a thing as someone unable to see hope. And it's not something you can help, right? When you're literally at the point where you feel like
You feel stuck.
where you feel like the light is off, right? It's not something that you can help because,
I think we'll continue the conversation, in the second banter, because there's quite a lot to, unpack. With this conversation. But the conversation continues, of course, on our socials at TVC Entertainment _. The show continues shortly. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome and thank you for joining us. Let's do the daily papers. At least the front page are some of the dailies this morning. I'm not doing it alone. I've got Winfrey here with me. Thank you very much, Winfrey. Yeah. All right, I'm going to be starting with the Nigerian Tribune this morning. Just in case you're picking up this one, if it's your choice, you'll be met with this headline. CBN sacks boards of Union, Keystone, Polaris banks. That hit hard this morning when we saw that one. Plenty of information from page 6. And court to deliver judgments in suit seeking to stop elections from holding on Saturday on page 29. Attack on Ichocho Kogi government arrests 6. How I was attacked, and Amotekun arrests 2 caught with human head body parts in Saki. I think that's in Ondo State, if I'm not mistaken. I actually read that story yesterday. EFCC to grill Edu, Sadia, Halima daily until it continues on page 29. And prospective corps call members now to register with NIN. And, of course, at the top of the Tribune, which is loaded with headlines, Army deploys 975 officials, cancels 120 postings, and Shoyinka raises the alarm as a court remands Ogunloye in Kuje prison. There's still more to go on, but the story I said that I read from yesterday, the one with the arrest of a couple of individuals with human heads. Now, this happened on the 9th of January, if I'm not, sorry, yeah, I think on the 9th or the 8th of January, if I'm not mistaken, and they had exhumed and decapitated a freshly buried corpse, and they were apprehended on the way. I was having a conversation with somebody, and the person said, these kinds of things are bound to happen even more often now, unfortunately, because of the state of the economy and people resorting to means that are not exactly empirical. You don't even know whether they actually work. And it's very unfortunate. It'll be a call on the authorities to, especially at this time, double their efforts when it comes to these kinds of crimes, because not just that, a lot of other crimes are being perpetrated now. My friend who's a single mother has gotten robbed twice this year alone in her home. And these are the things we said last year when we talked about the economy going bust as it just has. And it's a very concerning instance. What daily do you have?
So I have the Vanguard here, and for the major headlines here, we have CBN SAC's boards, managements of Union Bank, Keystone, and Polaris Bank accuses them of bank and other financial institutions act infractions, as a special investigator asked federal governments to take over banks. At the top there, we have Zenith Jais Bank MDs not arrested by EFCC. We have that on page 26. Alleged $6 billion fraud. Ex-Power Minister Agunloye docked, remanded in prison. Choyinka raises alarm. We have that on page 9. To the right of that, we have tax waivers on imported mining equipment, others underway. Federal government, page 8. Obi Edioga, greatest casualties of 2023, electoral fraud, LP, we have that on page 8. And below the image, below the second image there, to the right, we have suspension. PermSec takes over humanitarian ministry from Beta Edu. Economic reforms, NECA analyst, expert aligned with World Bank on ease of inflation. We have Olu Fasson, we have that on page 16. AFCOM 2023, Super Eagles land in Abidjan. We have that on page 31. And I think I will circle back to the situation of the CBN. I was reading the story earlier as well. And of course, talk about a lot of irregularities with the banks and how the federal government saw the need to step in. A lot of it is also linked to the ex-CBN governor, Emefiele, and all of that, talking about using monies gotten through illicit methods to actually monetize some of the processes.
I was very excited about the headline regarding the tax waivers for imported mining. One thing people don't know about me is that I've tried a lot of things, and mining was supposed to be one of them. I did deal in agriculture for a little while, but mining was supposed to be something that I really wanted to go into.
What did you want to mine?
There are certain rocks in the north that are ornamental, but unfortunately we couldn't get the licenses. We don't have the equipment, and this was supposed to be a small operation, but it was the almost impossible nature of investing inside of that kind of business. With everything going the way it is in Nigeria, I think it's been realized that we have so many other avenues to actually make money, and mining is one of them. And if we open this up, tax waivers, for instance, it's going to help the economy be more Nigerian, sell more Nigerian is the point.
Yes, of course, definitely.
I can't go too deep into that because we don't have any time, and we have other headlines, so many headlines that we have to touch on, like these ones from The Guardian. Anxiety as CBN sacks boards of Union, Keystone, Polaris Bank. We touched on that just now. It's all over the papers. Austerity between call for sacrifice and leading by example. That's on page 4. Supreme Court returns Fintiri as Adamawa governor, reverses judgment in Abia appeal, and third mainland bridge closure. Commuters lament chaotic traffic, seek reprieve. Yesterday, I had the shock of my life thinking it was going to be absolutely a normal day, forgetting that the third mainland bridge and that announcement had been made.
Apologies.
However, that announcement was not absolute, because like before, when you heard that the third mainland bridge was going to be closed, it was open all through, except for certain parts leading out of it. So I thought it was going to be the same thing, but it was blocked right from the start. And boy, did it cause mayhem when it comes to traffic in other parts of Lagos. So if you're up and about today and you're about to use the third mainland bridge, you might want to reconsider perhaps maybe using another alternative route.
So Yeah, so there's something that also came up based on that development. So the Third Mainland Bridge is closed for certain hours, coming, and then for certain other hours going. So now a lot of people notice that there are people actually there, roadblocks, blocking the road that actually should have access and collecting money before they allow people go through. And it is known and said that we had police present at these places, also aiding people block the roads and collect money from people trying to go by. So talking
that's
about
very
crime,
unfortunate.
Yeah.
However, that's very Nigerian.
Yeah.
Not espousing to it in any
So like
case.
normally they actually expect you to just tip, but this time it's actually expected that you pay, even if you turn back.
Mandated. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't do any other headlines because we've run out of time, but thank you very much for joining us. We have to get inside of the kitchen where we have a very, very excited chef and, of course, for us this morning. What are we going to be having? Who are we having in as our chef this morning?
Oh, we have quite an interesting chef here in the kitchen this morning, and that's because she's making something very interesting. It's not a regular meal. I know I've had native spaghetti before, but like I said, it's not a common meal. But hey, welcome to the kitchen, Chef Tino. Good morning. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Great. So this morning, Chef Tino will be making native pasta, right?
Yes,
or would you rather call it native spaghetti?
Whichever goes.
Whichever goes, fantastic. Now let's talk about the ingredients for our recipe this morning.
Oh, for the native pasta, we are going to make use of mostly African ingredients. That's a native ingredient. We don't know spaghetti or pasta is an Italian meal.
Okay.
So then the native, in this term, we are making use of palm oil, then fermented locust beans, and we have pomo, which is the cow skin. We have onions. We have cooked beef, crayfish, grounded crayfish. This is a deboned stockfish, also known as kpanla.
Okay.
And we have pepper mix. We have egg, and this is oil and our boiled chicken.
Okay.
Seasoning and salt.
Seasoning and salt. I see vegetable oil. What's the vegetable oil for?
To fry the chicken.
Okay. Okay, so the chicken is the protein, that goes with, okay. Well, that's not the only protein that we're working with. Of course, we have our beef here, and of course, we have our dried kpanla fish here. Now, let's, talk about the eggs for a minute. Are they going to be boiled or fried?
Boiled eggs are the supplement to the protein.
Okay. So we're working with quite a lot of proteins here this morning. So, in the pot, I noticed that there is meat.
Yeah, meat stock, yeah.
Okay.
It just enhance the flavor of the pasta. We are going to be boiling the pasta with the meat stock.
Okay. Are we going to drain the water off?
No, we are cooking this pasta in the boiled meat stock.
Okay.
We are going to boil the meat stock. We add the pasta into it.
And then when we put in the pasta, we'll allow it cook for how long?
Just al dente.
Okay.
Then we drain off the water and we add it into the sauce.
So we're still going to drain off the water. That's the beef stock.
Yes, ma'am.
And then we use the al dente pasta for the native pasta, right? Okay. So talk us through the process for our native pasta this morning.
Okay. For the native pasta, we are going to be frying each of our palm oil.
Okay.
Then we had some onions, fermented locust beans. Then we allow that to fry a little bit before going with our protein. We're going to be frying our stockfish just to enhance the flavor.
Okay.
That's the flavor building stage.
Okay.
Then we had our pepper mix and make sure that's fried a little bit. Make sure it is properly fried.
Okay.
To always start floating on the sauce.
You mean the palm oil, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Then we are going to add other proteins. Then we season it with seasoning. I'm going to be using this crayfish seasoning and a little bit of salt.
Okay.
We are going to be adding our pasta
into the mix.
Yes, into the
okay. It seems like a pretty easy recipe. It's like how you make your concoction rice.
Yeah.
But the only difference here is we are making use of spaghetti. Great. Okay, so I think this is quite an interesting way to eat your spaghetti instead of the regular way that we're used to. So this is a native way. And of course, you have a lot of ingredients here that are packing on a lot of nutritional benefits, especially like, for example, your locust beans. Very healthy, very, very high on a lot of nutrients that help to boost your immunity. So let's get cooking. Let's get cooking. We've been heating up our beef stock, and we're just going to put in our...
We want to fry
spaghetti,
our
right?
protein, which is the chicken.
Okay, so we're going to do that. So while we are frying up our, protein, that's the chicken, we are going to go on a quick break. Remember, it is Wake Up 9.
And you're welcome. I'm joined by very, very interesting ladies here this morning. Mrs. Oluwabukola Da Silva, the Vice President of All Girls Association, Our Lady of Apostles Ijebu-Ode, and we also have Dr. Mrs. Wumi Abimbola Okuneye, Acting Chairman, Fundraising Committee, Our Lady of Apostles, here with us today. You are celebrating your 70th anniversary.
Yes.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Congrats. Doctor, what's your field of study? Doctor of what now?
Yeah, in parasitology.
Parasitology. That's zoology.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. I'm a botanist.
Oh,
Wow.
great.
Maybe if I had
Interesting.
advanced out, I've been a doctor myself.
Yeah.
I choose media.
Thank God for that.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Our Lady of Apostles, you guys, 70 years.
Yes.
That is a long time.
It is. It
What
is.
special events are you guys doing? But first off, tell me about OLAS, Our Lady of
Of Apostles, yes.
Yeah.
Our Lady of Apostles Secondary School in Ijebu-Ode was founded in 1954, and it was started with just 30 students, with 24 day students and 4 border. And then there was no room for them, so they were actually accommodated at the convent. We had a convent, and we still have the convent in the school. And the school was founded by the Irish, the missionary. The first principal then was Sister Cuthbert. So we have a hall named after her.
Okay.
And that school actually had a lot of other students from different parts of the world coming in because of the good foundation we had from the school. We even had teachers from Irish. We had teachers from Ghana. We had a lot of Ghanaian teachers,
Nice, yeah.
a lot of foreigners in the school. And by the grace of God, the school has actually produced a lot of great girls.
Yeah, I was about to ask about the products from the school.
Yes, we had great girls. Amongst them is the current First Lady of Nigeria, Her Excellency Senator Remi Tinubu. She's done a lot of things for the school. We are really proud of her. She's doing great. And currently the SSJ in Lagos State, Mrs. Bimbo Ndei. Fortunately, I was part of the people that was there the day she was sworn in as the SSG. And the Mrs. Ajoke Muritala Mohammed, she passed through the school as well.
Nice. I can see that you guys are absolutely connected because if you have all these...
We are great women. We are great women, yes. Because our anthem actually says, great girls and women we will be. And we are actually great, yes.
So is there room for one man? Because with that level of...
No, we are all women. We are all women and we're doing well.
So you guys are putting together a fundraiser, is it? Is that what you guys are doing for the 70th anniversary? Please tell us
Yes, we
about
are putting together a fundraising event. This is to help us to raise some funds because actually we know that the school started as a missionary school, right? And over the years, government acquired some of the schools. And we know that, yes, governments have been playing their parts through regulating administrations and a lot of policies, to make sure that education is assessed by a lot of people. But all the same, we equally know that government cannot do it all alone. And so that is why we have the OLAS OGA, and we have alumni and all students coming together. Of course, we know about that, coming together to, give back to the school.
Nice.
Yeah, and exactly that is what we are doing.
Well, this event is going to take place when and where?
It's taking place. It's a 3-day event. It's earmarked to take place for 3 days. So we are starting on Thursday, January 25th.
Okay.
January Thursday 25th through to 27th of January 2024. So that's 3 days. So it starts from Thursday. The Thursday starts with a rally through town, through some designated routes to our parent church, which is the St. Sebastian's Catholic Church
in Ijebu-Ode.
Then back to the school campus, and where we now begin with a health talk. Of course, in the health talk, we have professionals, great professionals who have distinguished themselves in the field, who are Olasians. We have
all
the
over the world.
OGA
Yes, we are
field health
Olasians.
team.
Yes.
They are Olasians, doctors, pharmacists, nurses, and so many
We
others
have
in the
great
allied
women
health.
in
So
all
we have them.
industry.
So the health talk will now take place, and the health checks will now take place using the Oga Health
That's
team.
very interesting, because if you're talking health, then I'm wondering whether people who are non-Olatians can also be a part of this event as well. Is it open?
Well, yes, if they come in at that moment, they might actually be privileged to do that. Yes.
Oh, interesting. So what else, as you were saying?
So that's just for the first day.
Okay.
Now the second day, which is the Friday 26th, is the fundraising event. The fundraising event will now hold on Friday 26th.
26.
Yes, Friday
and in the
26th.
evening?
The fundraising event will hold, just like I was saying earlier on, because we need to, there are some projects that need urgent attention within the school premises. And part of this, we have the erosion. Erosion has eaten deep within the school premises, so we're trying to do some erosion control. And also the road network within the premises is also bad. We have a lot of renovations of classrooms,
And
upgrade
even
of
the chapel.
upgrade of the science laboratory, the library also. We need to also upgrade the library.
project, all of
Yes,
It's a
and
big
we have
project.
a big chapel in
And
the
we have
school
a-
that we are building
Yes, the
in the
school
name of the
chapel.
old students.
In the name of the old
Yes.
students that we are building. It's a faith-based school.
Yeah.
School,
So we
yes.
have the chapel that we are also building. So for these, we are, the fundraising is 100 million naira, considering the enormous projects that we have at hand to complete. So that is why we are also using this opportunity and this medium to also appeal and solicit for well-meaning people to also come to our aid and support us.
Medium, definitely.
Thank you very much.
See the kind of product that have gone through the school.
Yes.
You'll find ladies sitting down here.
Thank you.
Seems like it had such an impact in your lives. These names are really big names.
Yes, yes.
That motto you guys have.
Yes, great girls and women.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just solid. What about this generation? How would you welcome, or how would you suggest or advise parents who perhaps are listening?
Yes.
If they have maybe certain interests in the school, how would you?
To the glory,
energize
yes,
that
to the glory of God, like we said earlier, that women are actually doing great in all spheres of life. Like in entertainment industry, we have Princess.
No.
Damila, she's one of us.
She's my friend.
Oh, good. And Toby Amushan.
Oh.
Yes, in athletics world, she's one of us.
Too.
Alausa,
Toyin Alausa
in the entertainment industry, she's one of us. So to the glory of God, like you said, that we had a very good foundation in the school. And if not that we had that, we wouldn't be able to come on here to talk about our school. So we are using this opportunity to encourage women, particularly the younger ones coming up, that we encourage you to bring your daughters to our school, and you will not regret it. Even though the school has been divided into the government school and the mission school, but we're still one. And for the mere fact that we had a wonderful time in this school, we are doing everything to ensure that what we had is still on. And to shock you, sir, the people that started the school, a lot of them are still alive.
Oh,
they are really looking forward to this reunion, to talk about it, to say, yes, the school impacted our lives. And by the grace of God, we want people to come on board. Yes. The school is still solid.
Thank you guys
So
for choosing
in
this
addition,
medium.
before you round up, please.
Real quick, please.
Quickly, I just want to add that during the fundraising event, we're going to also give different categories of awards
Oh, nice.
to distinguished Olatians.
Yeah.
Including the First Lady.
Including the First Lady.
Yes.
And also the first female deputy governor.
Yes, Mrs.
in
Senator
Nigeria.
Ogochulwu.
Alhaja
She's one of us.
She's one of us
That's
also.
something to look forward to.
Yes.
Actually looking forward to
So-
that one. And like I said, you guys chose the right medium.
Thank you very much.
Put this word out. And I'm sure it's going to be a grand event coming.
By His grace.
By the grace
By
of
His
God.
Years, it's no easy thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Thank you
you
very
so
much.
You're out there and perhaps deciding maybe where to send your daughters. Hey, they've just told you. Well, do stay tuned. There's plenty more coming your way. This is, after all, Wake Up Nigeria.
And you are welcome to the second hour of the Wake Up Nigeria show.
Specially made for you late risers, and it's not a sin if you're waking up at 8 o'clock. It's okay if you set your time to 8 o'clock, because that means you cut another half hour, or rather half part of the show.
Well, at least you won't say that we have not done anything for you. You won't say, we just started the show by 7 a.m. and that's it. we are still thinking about you. And that's because we do this every single day just for you.
Yes, indeed. You guys are hard at work inside of the kitchen. I can smell
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Chef Tinu is...
Like, what do you call that
like
thing? The Igbo culture. There's this obi where everybody gathers to eat in the evening. That's exactly what it smells like.
Oh, it smells like...
it smells like native... you know that...
Community food.
Not community, but there's that essence to that.
Ah, okay.
And, you know, if you travel Nigeria, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, there's been so much that's been already done right here on the show. And, well, my name is Ikorodu.
My name is Mazino Appeal. Remember, now you can see us channel 16 Go TV. It's 1-to-1 for Star Times. And, of course, if you are choosing the UHF option, it's going to be channel 49. And also follow us. We are at TVC Entertainment across all social media platforms.
Do not forget that you can download our apps on the iOS or Android stores, guys. We are everywhere. And you can have access to us and watch us on the go, people. Right, so let's get right to what we have right here in the next 45 minutes of the show.
Coming up, we have a book chat coming your way, or rather, art display coming your way. Eunice Akintaya is going to be gracing our stage here, or our scene, with her artwork, and we'll be talking to her about how she comes up with these beautiful pieces.
And for a musical performance, that's a beautiful artwork over there. Lovely. All right, so Federal Funds will be gracing our sets later on to thrill us to his performance, or with his performance.
Be me, my honey. Let me be your papi. Sir, see me, my bunny.
And for book chat, The Soldier Within, Olauton Fawayemi will be joining us to talk about this book here. A very interesting one. Spans, well, everything an adult should know about.
The Soldier. A packed, second half, right?
Indeed it is. You guys only get to see it if you stick around. Thank you very much.
And, well, let's check out what the weather would be for the rest of the week. Thanks for staying with us. You're still tuned in to Wake Up Nigeria. With me in the kitchen this morning is Chef Tinu. Hello.
Yeah, our pasta is almost done. You have to just keep checking on the pasta so it doesn't stick together.
To remind our viewers what we're making.
Okay, we are making native pasta.
Okay.
All right, we are into our pasta.
Okay.
And we are make sure you scatter the pasta when cooking so it doesn't stick together.
Okay, so talk to us. Just some of our viewers who are just catching up on what we're doing. So we are making native pasta, guys. On your screen are the ingredients. We have our spaghetti, our palm oil, we have iru, locust beans, popularly known as iru, onions, pepper mix, dried fish, cow skin, which is known as pomo. We have our beef, egg, and chicken. So first off, I know that you fried our chicken.
Yeah, we are done frying.
Okay, and talk to us about the process for our spaghetti over there.
Yeah, when we added meat stock and a little bit of water. So when the water was done boiling, added some pasta into it and egg for it to boil.
Okay.
So this is already coming up to a boil and it's almost ready. So it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be too soft. Just al dente cooked for the pasta before you can add it into the sauce. So now,
I'm trying to understand the reason for the for cooking the spaghetti in the beef stock.
It's just to enhance the flavor, to give it a different taste.
Okay, that works. That works. I mean, because at the end of the day, we're still going to drain the water off, right? So I'm like, why waste all that flavor?
It's just to enhance the taste of the pasta.
Okay. So once our pasta or spaghetti is al dente, what's next?
So we are going into the sauce.
That's the, okay.
That's
the base for the pasta. Okay.
We are adding our palm oil.
That's really good palm oil. Very, very good palm oil. It actually smells nice. And you can also know really good palm oil from the thickness. There's a certain consistency it has.
So eat up
so
the
we're
palm oil.
Going to bleach that?
Yes, I'm going to just eat it up.
Okay. Are we, so what's going in next?
So we are going in with our onions.
Onions,
Yeah,
okay.
just to. We are building flavors now.
I see that. Okay, it's coming together nicely.
Yeah.
So we're not bleaching, we're just heating up the
Just
oil.
okay.
Yeah. A lot of palm oil though. So if you're watching right now, you're wondering, why palm oil? It's just another interesting way to enjoy your spaghetti. And when was the last time you had native rice? When was the last time I had native rice? I don't remember the last time I had native rice, to be honest. But wow, I mean, and of course, our chefs always come up with amazing, creative ways to enjoy our Nigerian food. And instead of the, pasta stir fry, we're having a native pasta this time. And looks pretty nice, and it's coming together nicely. So we're about to, make the base for the pasta. And okay, so while Chef Tinu is, getting hard at work and, building flavors, let's go on a quick break. The show continues shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome back. And of course, it's a beautiful Thursday morning. And on Thursdays, we like to actually take an exploration into the world of arts. Today, the artist with me is Eunice Akintayo, who is a multi-dimensional contemporary impressionist painter. Now, from a young age, Eunice nurtured her artistic pursuits by supportive parents who recognized her talents and encouraged her to follow her dreams and, of course, passion in fine arts. Now, she's also a first-class student who is doing great in her artistic endeavors. Hi, Eunice. Welcome to Wake Up Nigeria.
Hi.
Okay, so now tell me what it's like being a first-class arts student or graduate, let's say.
It's going to be challenging because if you're the best, you have to keep that standard.
Yeah.
You cannot, everybody's going to be on, like, looking out what you're going to become, you understand? So you just have to keep up with what you're doing and be the best that you can.
I love how you modestly just said you were the best. I mean, it's very, very... And I was speaking about your dress. I actually totally love it.
Thank you.
I love the idea of the buttons actually on it. It's actually really artistic. And you said your sister actually made that.
Yes.
So the artistic energy, we'll say, runs in the family.
Yes, it
now,
does.
tell me, when did you discover yourself as an artist? When did you decide that? When did you realize you had this gift and you were ready to pursue it?
Okay, so I realized it pretty early in my life. That was as early as 3 years old.
Okay.
This is when I was conscious.
Okay.
I might probably have been doing it before then, but since I remember, I've been drawing since I was 3 years.
Okay.
So I would leave my food and keep on drawing. So at that point, when it got to a certain stage, my parents encouraged me. They told me, I didn't know that it could be studied in school because it was like a hobby.
Yes.
A hobby.
Yeah.
So when I was about finishing my secondary school, my parents called me and said, do you know what you do as a hobby can be studied in school? I was like, really? They study art in school? So I made my research and then I put in for art and design in Lagos State Polytechnic, which is presently Lagos State University of Science and Technology right now. So when I got there, I was kind of skeptical because in school you're expected to do, I was like, they might not really do practical. It might just be theory, something else. It might not be what I do. When I got there and I saw what I do, they're doing art, they hold brush, really? I was so happy, like, wow. And I felt fulfilled and it became my home, like my second home.
I think it's amazing when you have a talent and you actually have people around you to encourage you, nurture that talent, and then even study it on a professional level. I think it takes it to a whole new level, which honestly explains the fact that you graduated in first class. Now, we have 2 of your paintings right here with us. We have one to the right. Now, can you explain? Okay, no, let's start with the more solemn one, the one that has the red hues, the red and pink hues. Can you? Is that you?
No, that's not me.
Hi, sir. It looks like you. So who's that? Do you paint actual people, or are you just imaginative?
No, I paint actual people. I pay models to model for me.
Oh, nice.
So modeling on its own, it's something else. It's another creative aspect of painting that people don't know about because it's behind the scenes. So you just see a painting. So you have to set up the whole stage. You have to use lights to bring out dramas of what you have in your head. So when you get, you can use a whole day. Sometimes I use a whole day to take my poses, you know, to give out the inspiration of what I want to do. So I paid a model to model this. I took the shirts, and then you're going to look at the one that inspires you more, the one that you can, the most.
Amazing. Okay, so you actually pay. So, I mean, it's a step further after photography. So you literally pay a model, and then you take shots of her. Do you do real painting?
Yes, I do. That's
No,
it.
as in, I'm talking about, like, if she's sitting, can you paint me seated this way?
Yes, that's live painting.
That's live painting?
Yeah, I do that.
Okay, how long would that take?
It depends on the details.
On the details. So that particular one was actually a model. You actually paid, you took shots of, and how long did that take you to paint?
It took me about 5 days. That's a digital painting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Digital painting.
Yes.
All right, what do you mean by digital painting?
A digital painting, you have a device that can paint, that you're going to use to paint what you want.
What you want.
Yes, so there's traditional painting and there's digital painting.
Okay.
Traditional painting, you use the local
painted
materials, the
brush.
paint and the brush.
Okay.
But when you want to digitalize it, you use your computer and a digital or graphics tab. So your pen or your brush, everything is on the computer. So you just paint it. You have your.
Okay. Is
as
it
long as you have your
faster?
gadgets. No, it's not faster.
So you're doing basically the same thing you do with a typical brush, but on the digital platform.
But it can be. I can say it's faster because not the technique, but because you don't have to set up your paint. You don't have to, you know, the whole, everything is just here.
Yes, yes.
But when it comes to the application, the process is basically the same thing.
Are both of them digital painting?
No, the other one is a traditional painting.
The other one is traditional painting? Okay, now
acrylic on canvas.
You did it on canvas. Now let's see that one. So, no, before we move to the next one, so you actually did that digitally and then printed it?
Yes.
You printed it on
a canvas.
On canvas as well?
It's a canvas.
Okay, it gives the same, does it give the same texture and feel as traditional painting?
No. Yes, it does, but with the eyes.
With the eyes.
you can feel the textures with your eyes, but when you touch it, it's flat.
When you touch it, it's flat.
Yeah, but once you look at it, you see textures in it.
All right, so now let's talk about the other one you said is traditional. Let's tell me about that. Was that also a model?
Yes, that's me. I actually model for artists too.
Okay.
Yeah, I get paid to model for whatever they want. So I needed, my niche is centered around self-empowerment, mental health, you know, to motivation. So when I think about a topic or when I have a topic that I want to work on, I think about what can portray.
Like a theme.
Yes, a theme, So what can portray this thing? So you have to set yourself. So I did everything. And then that one is titled Examine Yourself.
Okay.
So my art speaks to me, I want my art to speak to other people too, most times. So, you know that period where I did this at a part of my life when I was younger, where you write motivational quotes on papers and then you paste it on the walls to motivate you. So in the morning, you go and read them. I am bold, I'm confident. So I just realized that, okay, instead of pasting papers on the wall, I can do this through my art. Since it's something I love doing, I decided that, okay, let me motivate people through my art. So you don't have to paste papers on the wall. You can just have an artwork on your wall, and then it speaks to you, it motivates you.
Wow.
Yes, so, you know, it's not every time that you be strong or you be your best self. Like the first work is talking about, the title is Still Waters. That's the first work that has the flower. So my inspiration was gotten from that part in the Bible where Jesus said, peace be still. So I decided to create this feminine nature. Women, feminine, we are soft, we are peaceful. You know this popular quote where guys say, I want a woman that will give me peace, stuff like that.
She's
so
my peace, be my peace.
Yes, be my peace. So I just decided to create something like that that would be able to speak to a woman if she has it on her wall. You know, if you're going about the day and probably you're stressed.
Stay soft, stay peaceful,
stay
and remain
peaceful
in
and
your
all that.
feminine energy, as everyone likes to say. Okay. All right, thank you so much. I think what you're doing is brilliant, and definitely believe that you do great things. I mean, going through with life. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're looking forward to more of your pieces.
Okay,
All right, thank you guys for also staying here with us. The show is not over. So much more to come. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome for a Thursday. At about this segment, I'm always holding a book, and today I'm holding this one, a very interesting book here by Olautan, The Soldier Within: Childhood to Adulthood, the Roles, Rules, and Risks. Especially like this one. He is a creative professional writer. He's always ready to bring his A game to the fore with vast experience in media and also marketing communications and a plethora of skills in public relations, e-commerce, media, and hospitality. He's right here with me. You are welcome, Olautan.
Thank you so much.
Olautan or Fayemi?
Olautan, definitely, yes.
Good to have you, man. Couldn't help but notice that the book is white and green, a bit patriotic. Put it that way. But a very interesting. Yeah, you're wearing green as well.
Yeah.
It's matching with their books.
It adds up, right? It adds up, right?
It's an interesting book. I read your forward, or was it the preface now, where you talked about the real reason why you wrote this book.
Yeah.
Because you wanted some economic change in life or anything. You just wanted people to experience from your experience, live vicariously, and also have that as an input into or influence into their lives.
Yeah.
But first off, just tell me in a roundabout way what The Soldier Within is about and who for.
So, The Soldier Within, like you said, is a story. It's a story. It's an experience. It's not just trying to tick boxes. It has very, very profound insights for primary targets, which is the youth, and of course secondary targets as the parents or guardians. And the idea is so that we can see beyond the external forces. Employment currently, as given by Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, is at 4.2% and all of that. But we cannot afford to be limited by those things. We have to look inward and bring out our inner recesses, the qualities that we have inside of us, and make our impact in the world.
Interestingly, you have a thing for allegories and metaphors.
Yes, I do.
Chapters are well themed using the tree as a metaphor. The root, the seed, the trunk, the fruit, all representing parenting, childhood, youth, and adulthood.
Exactly.
One thing I, however, noted was the fact that you started your first chapter with parenting.
Right.
Instead of going from childhood to teen to adulthood, and then parenting, you started with parenting and went to childhood.
Right.
And I'm wondering why you did that.
Okay, so it's simple. You have to be a parent for you to have a child, right? And the truth is, like you said, I took man as an allegory for a tree, right? And I realized that the build-up of a tree, the qualities of a tree, can in a way be likened to the journey of a man. So first off, you will not have a child until one man and one woman come together, whether intentional or not intentional, legal or illegal. A man and a woman have to come together, and then there's a fruit that comes from that relationship. And that fruit, that seed that comes from that relationship grows. And then one day, that seed becomes a tree again, and then begin to bear their own fruit. So it's a cycle, right? So if you look at a child and you look at what they are made of, the quality, you can trace it back to the qualities of the man and the woman that came together to make that child in the first place. So if we have a good person, good man, and a good woman, the tendencies are high that you will have a good child. And just in case where you don't have that, in the journey of that child, you're going to meet a tutor. I talked about a tutor when I was talking about childhood, that you're going to meet a tutor, whether a teacher or a guardian or a mentor, somebody you're going to look at and you say, I want to be like this person. At that point, that person is the change, that person is the one making an impact in your life, right?
You're a young adult. You're not the guy with gray hair. In fact, you're wearing dreads and everything. So my question is, what gives you that, what makes you that authority to actually write such a book that encompasses the entire span, the entire spectrum of life
Right.
And also proffer it as a
solution
for anybody's life.
Right. So I study a lot. When I say study, I don't mean read. Yes, I read books, but I'm not talking from the academic point of view. I'm talking of the realistic point of view. So reality. I studied my parents, my siblings. By the way, I had fantastic parents, and my siblings, my friends, their parents. I looked around, and I noticed that the way people turn out after a certain age, say from 25, or let me say 20 to about 30 to 35, you will always find that, they say this, that everybody more or less behave their background. So you will always trace it back to where they come from. If you're raised by a very
authoritarian,
disciplinarian, parents, and then you're going to find out at some point that you're going to begin to exhibit the same traits. That's the way it works. And so if we're not paying attention to how we raise children, we're going to go back years to come and we realize that nothing has changed. So the essence is so that we are conscious of how we raise today's children, because those are the leaders we're going to get tomorrow. You know, we say today's children are tomorrow's leaders. So if we raise them well today, then we get good leaders tomorrow. If we don't, then that's what we get.
I've got very little time, but I'm just going to ask real quick about the final chapter 4, adulthood.
Right.
Would you say that you have absolutely experienced that phase in your life, or are also still experiencing?
Absolutely, I haven't experienced it. We're all evolving, right? Yeah, so we're growing. But that's why I said you have to be conscious. So it's a consciousness to say that adulthood now. You know, somebody asked me a very funny question. He said, if you could go back into the past, what would you do? I said, I would like to speak with my father. Because I saw a lot of things that he did. I was a child. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But now I'm a father. I'm paying school fees. I get it. So I'd like to have a conversation with him as a man, so that I can better understand why he took some of the decisions he took. And that's it. So I want in certain years to come that my children should come to me, ask me questions, and I'll gladly give them answers. So it's a consciousness, and we have to begin to live it from now, that we need to instill the right values, the right qualities into our children so that we can be proud of them tomorrow when they actually sit on the leadership seat.
From everything that you said, the book is very influential. So it talks from an influence point of view.
Right.
However, the theme of the book, the soldier within,
right.
So that means that you're telling that we have these already inside of us.
Exactly.
So perhaps we need, like you said, perhaps a mentor or other influences to bring it out. Am I correct?
Absolutely. So they say that the reason why people don't do well or people don't go to business, or they don't do well in business, is because they don't have financial capital. I say no. Apart from financial capital, you need intellectual capital. You need moral capital. So what I would say is it's a package. So for every single human being, you're not just going to go through school and then come out and then you begin to write CVs and look for white-collar jobs. No, you have to look inward, and there are qualities inside of you that you need to bring to the fore and begin to. I came from a construction background. Today, I believe I'm doing well in communication because that's what I really wanted to do. That's what aligns with my skill sets and my aspirations. And I went into it without any educational background. And here I am today, right? So that's where I think the youth of today should be. Look into yourself. What are those qualities, those skills that are inherent that you can polish and begin to serve to the world? And you would realize that in a short time, you will begin to see value come out of them, and people begin to reach you to serve them with those qualities.
Fantastic, Alauton. It's a great book, and I'm suggesting that maybe you should pick it up and read it yourself if you're a young adult, even if you're at any stage of life. And thank you very much for making sure that we get to experience, vicariously your thoughts through this book.
Thank you.
Do stick around because we have something very special for you. So don't go anywhere. We're going to shift you into the kitchen in just about a bit.
Oh, interesting.
But I'd like to let everybody out there know because if you've seen, our gifts are still here and we're still on about that little gift giving process that we started since the beginning of the week. If you're watching on X, we're asking you to go up on there and leave a comment on there. We're asking you to tell us exactly one very special thing about that special person you've worked with from before who you no longer work with again. And perhaps maybe if it tickles our fancy, we might be giving you any of these gifts so that you can pass it on because you forgot about them last month. So that's actually why. But it's all good. And by the way, our gifts are courtesy Adam and Eve. They're your one-stop shop for anything home or anything, well, hey, wrapped in a little bow. So make sure that you check them out as well. Now, Alta, if you're hungry enough, let's move over to the kitchen now, shall we? Thank you very much. Come on.
Thank you. All right.
Aha, welcome to the kitchen, Olauton.
Thank you so much.
This is Chef Tinu, and this morning she's made for you native pasta.
Interesting.
Great. So it's been maybe with a lot of love.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, so please.
I'm going to try it.
Take taste and let us know what you think. Quickly.
You can write a book
Please,
about
here's your cutlery.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead. It's native because why? Tinu, why is it native? What's the one
Please
thing?
go ahead.
Oh, sure.
There are lots of African ingredients.
Okay.
Starting from the palm oil,
Palm oil.
the locust beans, the stockfish, the crayfish.
What do you think?
I think it's African.
Exactly what it is.
Nice.
And it's tasty, actually.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Well done, Chef Tinu. Well done.
Thank you very much, Tinu.
Very well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alauta,
Very well
for coming
done.
through.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody,
Yes.
also tuning in early and sticking with us till this time. For a Thursday edition, it has been quite an edition, and we're looking forward to ending the week with you guys tomorrow. So please
Join us.
then.
Till tomorrow. Have a great day ahead. Bye.
Bye, everybody.